Are you thinking about moving to Cincinnati, or maybe you just recently moved to Cincinnati? Well, you're in luck because there are a lot of incredible events and festivals throughout the year.
That's absolutely right. Today, we're actually going to break down our favorite events that happen each year in Cincinnati, and maybe ones that kind of get sprinkled in every other year, that sort of thing. But we're going to break them down because there's some eclectic ones that if you just did a Google search, you might not find these.
That's right. So we've got a number of them that are going to be popular that you can find out about pretty easily if you talk to people. And then we got some little hidden gems in there.
Yeah, some of the ones we love.
Including that adult big wheel race.
Yeah, Scott didn't remember what Little Rascals was, by the way, when we're talking about that. So if you get that, if you understand that little metaphor right there, you know what I mean. But
there we go.
Why don't we dive into our favorite events?
All right, let's break it down by the season.
Right,
so we'll start like January. So we'll say winter.
Winter.
All right,
yeah.
all right, winter. What are your favorites?
So you know what, wintertime, there's one of my favorites is actually gone, so I shouldn't say that one, but when it comes to festival lights at the Cincinnati Zoo, that's one of the best. I have young kids, I get to take them there. That's tried and true, been going on forever. And I say the one that's gone because the Coney Island drive-through one, Coney Island's now gone.
Cool.
I used to love that one as well because it was easy. I could keep my kids contained and we could drive through them. But the festival lights, you can see animals, a lot of Christmas lights. The decorations are just incredible. We love that one each year.
It's almost like a Cincinnati staple and tradition. My kids are 14 now, and I think we've pretty much gone every year since they were born.
It's the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
You get to have some fun there. Another one that's really cool, a little bit further out in Milford, is the Light in the Forest event, which is actually at the Cincinnati Nature Center. I love that place. I go hiking all the time. I take my kids out there, and our very own Jason Curley's wife actually works out there.
Yeah.
So you got to give it some love.
Yeah.
It's a really special spot.
That is a great spot. And maybe it's not necessarily an event, but every weekend come winter time, down on Fountain Square, they convert the Fountain Square into an ice rink.
Sure.
And just a lot of fun down there, a lot of scenery. You actually get kind of 3 outdoor ice rinks kind of in the winter time that I come top of mind.
Right there in the heart of downtown.
So you got right in the heart of downtown in Fountain Square. And then up in Blue Ash, so a little further out in the suburbs, they'll have theirs in the Summit Park.
Yes.
And so they'll have that set up over there. And then 50 West, one of our favorite breweries, they set up a little ice rink too. So if you feel like you can have a couple beers and hit the ice rink.
You know, the last time I actually was at 50 West doing that, I fell on my butt. I can't use the other word. I fell on my butt. And my daughter still makes fun of me on that kind of stuff. So, And if we go back to Summit for a second, Stacy Rickert, her daughter was actually the opening act because she's a figure skater when they first opened that rink. So it was really cool. She's on the news and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So just a lot of fun wintertime activities that we have all centered around, lights and just ice skating, all that kind of good stuff.
You got it.
Yeah. Reasons to get outside in the dead of the winter, right?
That's right.
Yes. So Scott, why don't you jump into the springtime because it's getting a little warmer. I got my short sleeves on.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do?
Well, we just had it not long ago, and that is opening day for the Cincinnati Reds. It is a holiday in Cincinnati. If you're planning on working that day, don't plan on getting much done. If you're making sales calls, you probably aren't going to be able to get a hold of people.
Sure. We know
because it is a holiday. It starts very early. Starts out with the parade. So it's an all-day festivity.
Sure does.
The parade runs, Findlay Market, all throughout downtown. And it's just a big celebration. Cincinnati Reds are the first Major League Baseball team. And for the longest time, the Reds game was the very first MLB game that day. Now that's changed a little bit in the last few years, but it is just a huge celebration and party that we embrace. And one of these days, we may make it back to the playoffs and get a World Series.
Hey, you know what? We're 2025. We're doing okay right now.
Doing okay.
Doing okay. I'll say that, leaving it okay. Because we don't want to jinx us right now. We're doing okay. So we'll see. Let's see how this video holds up in a couple of months.
That's right.
I'm not gonna run.
Another fun celebration in Cincinnati is Oktoberfest, which is essentially the celebration of the rich brewing tradition in Cincinnati. And this takes place in the historic Over the Rhine area. There's a parade, there are brewery tours, and it really just centers around beer.
It's heavy consumption.
Yes.
That's basically what it is. And for those of you that don't know Over the Rhine, it's just outside of the Central Business District. It's a awesome vibe, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Great place to drink a beer. Lots of rich history, as you mentioned.
That's right. So that's always a fun one to make sure you put on your list. And that happens in early March. So right at the beginning of spring.
And I think this is the 33rd year of Oktoberfest. So
yeah,
pretty cool.
Yeah,
been going on for quite a while.
It kicks off with like the annual tapping of the keg, and there's even goat calls, and
just like every Oyler party that happens out there.
So lots of fun is something you don't want to miss.
Next up, we have the Taste of Cincinnati. And pretty much anybody that's ever been in Cincinnati and been around here for a while knows about the Taste. It's about a vibrant and a fun festival, just all centered around food, hence the name Taste of Cincinnati.
That's right.
I think there's 65 plus booths with different types of Cincinnati-based eateries, all kinds of great stuff. So if you want all those mix and matches of different foods, your favorites, that sort of thing, you don't have to DoorDash 45 different areas, just going down there. Great beer down there. And they actually moved it from the Central Business District to now on 2nd and 3rd Street, so closer to the river, closer to the stadiums. But it's a lot of fun. It's busy though. It's a busy spot.
It's busy.
It can be hot.
And it's always Memorial Day weekend.
Yep, sure is.
So it kind of kicks off as you're getting ready to, spring's wrapping up, as you're heading into summer. And, you know, it's just a great spot if you want to sample and try all the different great eateries that Cincinnati has to offer, and there are a lot of them.
Yeah, but if you want, you can always just go get some La Rosa's pizza. I'm sure it's there too.
That's
just
right.
all the good stuff. The tried and trues with all the eclectic stuff that's fun.
That's right. Now, if you're on a diet and eat very healthy like Mike, that may be a little bit of a challenge. You may need to make sure you have a cheat day that day.
That's where I go. Right, I go right there, and then I just go and have some beers down there. And I'll just run later on. It'll be fun.
That's right. People like me fit in really well there. So we mentioned earlier the Festival of Lights at the Cincinnati Zoo, and they have a lot of great events because we also have the Tunes and Blooms that they host in the spring every year, and it is great. It's a series where they bring in local musicians to play in the gardens there, and it's just a great event, whether you bring the kids or you're just going out on a date night. Stroll through the zoo, hear some great music featuring some of Cincinnati's finest artists that are playing. So it's always fun. My wife and I, we've gone for date nights. We've also taken the kids and have had a really good time with it. So would highly recommend checking out that event.
And a little side shout out to the Cincinnati Zoo. It's one of the best in the country, and they just opened up that new elephant exhibit. It's fucking incredible. It's one of the coolest spots. Fortunately or unfortunately, I think we're there almost every other week in the summertime and springtime. So I love it, but at the same time, it's fun to go for events like this because it's a little different than the normal trip.
And it's more of like a series, so it's not like a one-time event. The Tunes and Blooms is a series of going over multiple weeks. In the spring.
Well, why don't we jump into the summer? Because let's be honest, like when you start thinking about going out there and having fun and being out with your friends, you think of the summertime when it's warm out, which we're right there on the cusp of that right now. So let's dive into the first one, which funny enough, we were just talking about, we were down in Nashville the other day and we see a big ad of the Voice of America Country Music Festival that's coming up it's normally in August or so each year. It's a huge festival, country music festival in Westchester, Liberty Township, right? Yeah. And it's a lot of fun. I know I was throwing a little shade to the events. And
Mike's a hardcore, like old school country guy.
Yeah, and we're both big music fans, so I had to be a little critical this year.
This year it's a little bit more pop country, but incredible lineups every year. So if you're a country music fan, you probably already know about this festival. People come from all over. It's in Voice of America Park. Up in Westchester, so that's a northwestern suburb, we'll call it, of greater Cincinnati, and just an absolutely great festival. They have a lot of great talent that comes every year. You can catch a lot of these country music stars who are kind of on their way up. People who are playing earlier and on the smaller stages are now making their way to the big stages and big names that you hear, but I think this year we have Carrie Underwood, Hardy, Shabuzi. Shabuzi's playing. Yeah. Let's go. I love Shabuzi.
Shabuzi, come on now.
Let's go.
Now I gotta be honest. I've actually never been. I've never been to the VOA. Have you been? I don't know if I've never been. So we're talking about how great it is. It probably is great, but I've never been. I don't know. Let's go back.
I've never been either. Well, I don't think we should say that.
I think it's better that way. Just be honest with our people. We've never been. We've heard great things. Let's go to something we have been to, though, which is Danger Wheel in Over the Rhine, which is one of my favorites. It's so much fun.
Yes, this is what Mike was talking about earlier.
Yes.
The Danger Wheel, going back downtown, OTR, really actually in Pendleton.
Pendleton, yes.
Is where this is located. And it's fun. We actually had a team one year.
Did you really?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, a lot of fun. So think about the Danger Wheel is basically big wheels for adults. You have a rider that goes down the hill and you race. Going down the hill is a competition.
Oh, yeah.
And
it's dangerous. That's why they call it Danger Wheel.
People will throw, in the crowd, will throw water balloons at the riders. They'll have sometimes like little ramps and things like that. You can see some pretty good wipeouts. But it's just a lot of fun, like I said, in Pendleton, and they make, just a great event out of it.
Yeah.
And it's something to watch.
It is a lot, whether you bring your kids, whether you're out there on your own, having fun with buddies and friends and wives, it's awesome. And actually some friends of ours are the ones that put it on every year, and they do an awesome job. It is definitely one of the most fun events, which we'll get into another event that they actually are part of as well. But you gotta go. If you're in Cincinnati, when Danger Wheel's happening, you have to.
Yeah, this is probably one when you're looking up events or things to do in Cincinnati. It may not show up right away. It's like one of those under the radar events. It's a lot of fun.
Sure is. Well, it's funny. If I had if that was one of my favorites, my second favorite, and really maybe just I have 1A and 1B, it's the Cincinnati Open, which is the tennis tournament. I love it. We're fortunate enough to have tickets to go every year. I've been going since I was a little kid, and this is a massive, it's not a Grand Slam tennis tournament, but it's just right there on the cusp, and it's a big deal here in Cincinnati, Ohio.
It's a tennis tournament.
Tennis tournament. Did I say tennis?
You made one.
Yeah, it's fun. It's tennis. Do you guys want to know details? It is the Cincinnati Open tennis tournament, and it is incredible. In fact, some new purchasers just came on, bought the tournament, and are investing heavily in it. It's both men and women. So it is a week long right now, which I've heard rumors that it might go a little bit longer than that, maybe up to 2 weeks. And it's fun.
Yeah, outside the US Open, it is the largest tennis event in the country. And it is absolutely spectacular. Mike and I were actually both tennis players growing up. I grew up going to the Cincinnati Open, and even if you're not into tennis, it is just an event to be at. Even the food garden court area and the live music they have playing. It's just an absolutely amazing event, and the tennis is absolutely incredible. The best players in the world are always there, both men and women. So it's something that we kind of circle on the calendar. The very beginning of the year, let's make sure we have this week blocked off, no vacations or anything, because it's something you don't want to miss.
You got to be here. So buy some tickets if you've never been. We promise you will not regret it one bit.
Another one that is not a singular event, but more of like a series, an ongoing one, is City Flea, which is in OTR, just right in Washington Park. It's kind of the largest urban park in Cincinnati, downtown. And you have different vendors from all over selling all different kinds of trinkets and merchandise and things like that. There's something there for adults, things for kids. They'll have food trucks and things like that. So it's great to kind of support some of the local, folks that are making all different kinds of things that are very unique. And I think, one of the gifts that one of our team members got me for Christmas one year, I think was from there, and it was the Ted Lasso nightlight, right?
Yes,
So very cool. So there's all kinds of unique items there, things that you're not going to find in an everyday store or shop, and so it's something fun that I know when we're looking for something to do on the weekend, if the City Flea's happening that weekend, I believe it's like a once a month kind of thing. And so something worth checking out.
Right there in Washington Park next to Music Square, or Music Hall, I'm sorry. It's an awesome spot down there.
Yep.
All right, so why don't we enter into a little bit of sweater weather. It's getting a little colder going into the fall. There's probably one event that jumps out to Scott Oyler as one of the best events in the entire fall. What is it? Give the people
I'm a diehard Bearcat fan, University of Cincinnati graduate, and I look forward to UC's homecoming every year. It is an absolute blast, an event, whether you went to the University of Cincinnati or not, there is a parade that kind of kicks things off depending on when kickoff time is. There's a parade. Our kids have been going to that since they were young. And then the tailgate scene before the game. And then you've got the game itself. And even if you don't make it to the game, just the festivities of that day are a lot of fun. See a lot of tailgating out on Sigma Commons.
Well, who used to have a tailgate trailer that was down there with a TV and everything?
Well,
like
we
that?
still do.
Hey, go on. I don't want to jip you.
But yes, so we've had a big tailgate that we've done. We're not quite as involved with it as we were, but we're still there tailgating for every home game. And homecoming is certainly just a lot of fun, bringing everyone together. Whether you went to UC or not, just a good time.
So if you're in town at UC Homecoming, come find Scott. He'll have free beer for you.
That's
probably.
right.
He'll get you set up. Yeah. Then you have to buy a house from him. That's just the rules and stuff. All right. So then let's come back a little bit out to the suburbs and into Indian Hill, the Camargo Hunt Club, which we actually have a booth every year through Laura Wogan, who's she's a huge rider. It's a horseback riding event, essentially. It's a lot of fun. We actually have a whole separate video just on the Camargo Hunt because of how involved Laura is on this.
Yeah.
But it is a lot of fun. And even if you're not into horses and a fox hunt, for lack of a better term, this is a lot of fun. It's a really eclectic little event. You get to dress up snazzy.
Yeah.
You get to have some fun. You're out there. I mean, if you don't know Indian Hill has bridle trails and a really big horse contingent over there. So it's a lot of fun. It's normally in October each year.
Yeah.
And it's just a one-day event there in the village of Indian Hill. It's a lot of fun.
It's dressed up, and there's tailgates on the outside as well. And when you think about tailgates, they're like fancy tailgates, not like
nice
a college tailgate.
I can't probably wear what I got on.
But, tents set up, and it's just, I feel like when the Camargo Hunt happens, it's like, okay, fall is here,
Yes.
Now, the next event is, we mentioned opening day earlier. That could be 1A, this could be 1B, or you could change them back and forth because Oktoberfest is another one that's just a pure holiday in greater Cincinnati.
Sure. You see that German theme kind of coming out. Oktoberfest, Bachfest.
Yes.
That's
a lot of German heritage here. And outside of Munich, it is the largest Oktoberfest in the world.
But you know what? Sometimes Oktoberfest is in September.
It is. Actually, most of the time, it is in September, which is a little weird.
It is a little strange.
And I don't know why that is, but anyways, it is an absolute blast. It starts out with the chicken dance. They'll normally have someone famous lead the chicken dance. And there'll be everything from, the Stein holding competitions. Sure. They do the wiener dog race.
A lot of fun, yes.
And so a lot of fun, just really, really embracing that German heritage and lots of beer as well. You see a kind of theme here in Cincinnati.
Yeah, exactly. It makes everything more fun.
That's right.
A little bit extra beer. But then while we're downtown, why don't we jump into one of the newest events really to the city of Cincinnati. Yeah. And we talked about those folks that run Danger Wheel. A couple of actually people that put this on also have something to do with the Blink Festival. So if you have not heard of Blink, then you obviously haven't been in Cincinnati very long because it is one of the most fun, incredible light festivals throughout the entire Cincinnati, downtown, going into northern Kentucky, maybe even going up a little bit north as well. It's incredible.
Yeah, it's more of like a immersive light experience. It's hard to explain, but
we'll have photos probably pop up.
Yeah,
a
lot of
right now and explain it for us.
But it is an absolute gem, of an event in Cincinnati that's newer. Probably in the last 5-10 years, maybe. May not be as far back as 10, but somewhere around there. And it's something once again that people circle on the calendar. It's not an every year event.
Every 2 years.
So it's every 2 years. But we wanted to add it to the list because it is something that's truly unique and truly special that you won't see in any other parts of the country. And we have people that come in from all over to experience this unique event in Cincinnati.
People really do. I mean, this isn't just a local event. This is a national event. They bring artists in, everybody from everywhere around the world to put this on. I think they actually, the idea came from somewhere in Finland, if I remember correctly, somewhere over in Europe, and they pulled different elements of that to build this out here, and it is truly spectacular.
And it's great. They have the street shut down, and you're kind of walking through, the streets in the different areas. So you could go and hit one section on one night, and you could have a total different experience. If you cross over to Northern Kentucky, on another night or a different part of town. So it's mostly kind of downtown OTR into Northern Kentucky,
Covington and Newport, those areas like that. Yeah.
And another Cincinnati tradition is the Riverfest. That is the WEBN. I think they've been the sponsor forever.
Yes.
The WEBN fireworks, and it is an absolutely phenomenal firework display, the largest firework display in Cincinnati. You have people that line up both banks of the river on the Ohio side and the Kentucky side, and they have this huge firework display that gets put on, shooting off from the barges on the river, everything from a bridge waterfall. It is absolutely spectacular and something everyone looks forward to. It's really, this one is Labor Day weekend, and it's kind of a kickoff to fall. It's kind of summer's ending and fall is starting as people are transitioning back to school. So large event every year. People are, in the high rises,
that's an insider
getting views.
Tip, yes. Find some friends that have a good high rise so you can be away from the crowd. Or if you love being in the crowd, Sawyer Point, that sort of thing. But find that elevated view looking down at the Big Mac, the Yellow Bridge.
Actually, we have a couple houses that have incredible views.
Hey, how about that? Yeah. 1201 Edgecliff Place, if anybody's looking for a nice, beautiful condo to renovate. We have some great spots, though, for real.
Yeah,
you
on both sides of the river, views, really. So lots of great spots, and that's something that people that have views have a huge party for it every year.
Absolutely. All right, let's go a little weird and get a little eclectic real quick and have some fun, because the Cincinnati Renaissance Festival. Now, this is a battle with a lot of folks, so whether this is a fun event to go to. I'll be frank. This is one of my favorite events each year. I take my kids to it. I know it's a little odd. It's the Renaissance Festival. It is going back into medieval times. There's a town just past Waynesville that you drive up to. It's open for about 4 or 5, 6 weeks in the fall time, from September through part of October. And you just have a lot of fun. It's an interesting vibe where you get to act like you're living with Monty Python and the Holy Grail, or whatever that was called back in the day. And you walk around in this old town. There's games, there's bars in there, great food, jousting, sword fighting.
Are you one of those guys that walks around with like one of the big turkey legs?
I gotta dry. You know what? It was a little dry last time I got one, but heck yeah, I got one. I have a photo of my daughter with this gigantic hot dog too that looks like it was probably created back then. It was massive, but it's just a lot of fun, and people dress up. You get to choose. It's like you pick your poison. How do you want to do this? Do you want to do this and dress up and have a lot of fun? Do you want to just go just like me and look kind of like an oddball, just like a normal guy walking through, and you're in the Midwest times or in the medieval times? It's fun. You can have a beer. You can stay through the night. You can get some fun, pieces of art, and just meet some interesting people. So I like it.
I haven't been, Mike, but you're selling me on it. So maybe I'll try and join you this year.
Yeah, it's a drive. It's 30 minutes. We joked this year about getting a party bus with some friends and going on up and go there. One of these days, if we do another one of these videos, we're going to talk just about Renaissance Festival and tell you how much Scott enjoys it. Don't hide it if you love it. Just throw it out there.
All right.
Show your appreciation.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll have to give it a shot.
Mark your calendar, buddy.
All right.
Yeah.
The best part about Cincinnati is that no matter what time of year, there's always something to do, right? Today we talked about a lot of events, some of our favorites, and we missed a lot of them, right? There's a lot more events that are out there, and then there's also always something going on, whether it's, you can go to the museum, you can catch a ball game. The possibilities are truly endless.
They really are. And we really didn't talk about it. We curated this list by asking the people on our team, what do we love to do? That's how we came up with this list. This isn't an AI generated list of great things to do. This is stuff we do, we enjoy. So if you're looking to move to Cincinnati and you're just looking for some guidance on areas, understanding what to do, you to reach out to us. Or you know what, if we missed anything that you want us to add for the next video we do, add it down in the comments. Or as users are watching this video, they can see other fun events that maybe we don't get to see or we didn't get the chance to add. But really the key is Cincinnati is a special spot. We are really fortunate to call Cincinnati home. We love it. We've helped so many people move from outside of Cincinnati into Cincinnati and show them just what's so great about this city. So if that's you and you're looking to build a home, buy a home, sell a home, we're always here to help. And of course, if you can, we really appreciate it if you like and subscribe down below to these videos. We create this content. We're always looking for new, fresh ideas, but we hope you follow us and we hope you stay tuned for our next videos. In the meantime, we say thank you and we hope to see you again soon.
And of course, if you'd like to reach out to us directly, you can always reach us at hello@oylerhines.com. We'd love to help you out.